under the amamife Chineke nyere ha. Amamife Chineke nyere ha nke ibido this type of ọdụbe na n'ibe anyị before this type of movement. So iwepụta education karịsịa in this moment. My topic now also is theme for sustainable development in Onicha. Challenges and the opportunities. So I'm going to talk about basically the challenges and the opportunities we have for sustainable So my next slide is talking about the quakes and the quacks we have. Currently the Onicha, what are we seeing? Then this the right hand side, you'll be seeing onye nwere eka. So somebody just and has multiple fractures all over the body. So the question ngono be feneme anyị na-echesa asa anyị no nwere accident maybe no oyinwa nkwegi twawa yeah but ọkpa. So but ya gwanụ na asa anyị no bụkwa accident no kukwara m ụra to na-eme nwanse to ọkụ niile go gbajisi ha bụrụ otu ọma bụ otu condition otu the situation in terms of functional education ndụ na Onicha Ikpeazụ. So we are seeing orientation of the bones in different directions. We are seeing the hands not functioning. We are seeing, in fact, no compound issue. Ike have 1 week, one trouble. So one event. So a boss or two about on this most of us so this person we are saying, those are all of us involved. The problem is just a gradual deterioration. So what happened? So I'm going to use like my background in biology. So Master explain. This is not actually a medical problem. It's actually like the type of problem. Or I use the permit me to use for in Chukwuma village. So I use the publication Linus published in 1735. Omabe, the father of taxonomy. Linus Bidoro classify human beings. I mean, they classify living things. So he started classifying kingdom, use families, and the species. So and Nkanyimara maintain the foundation which now classify so many other things. But what surprised us is that after that work, he began to classify human being too. So what he classify human being. And in most countries, in most places, they are still using this. So, and each individual fall into one or the other type of the class. So class A are people who are very smart, very innovative, and they are ruled by law as a community. These are a group of individuals or persons or families that are ruled by law. They might have obtained either functional informal education or functional or formal education or combination, but not the bottom line is that they are ruled by law. The second group are the healthy, greedy people. So these persons, they are ruled by opinion. So they don't actually, they can stooge people and cable. So the group C are lazy kind of people. They are very, very lazy. They are crafty, so say in on atamapio to haji now. So these people, they cause a lot of trouble in the society. They are careless, they don't know what is law, but the bottom line, we learned that they are ruled by caprice. Caprice. Caprice, but individuals. The description of the man. So they can change. But they can change. You in the next time they are your friend, the other time they are already in my with AK-47. So these are the individuals. So and what is the use this explanation to understand our society, since we are seeing that the orientation of the bones and the orientation of the tissues, everything are disaligned, are not in the right alignment. So the diagnosis now, the Linus syndrome, many medical dictionary, because this is a social problem. So we believe, and I see it in this perspective, that not the symptoms this person is going to manifest, or is what we are already manifesting in Onicha base. Bones, jujuru ekanine, autism everywhere, intimidation, drug and dysfunctional education, stealing, political thuggery, stooge, so many things. Or every time we are on the news in a negative thing. So that is how we are. The question is, how do we cure it? How do we diagnose? What will be the worst? The Ebron is on Onicha Education Foundation. For my name, doesn't believe that is God that activated them. So what was are we going to see, and what is actually happening already? There is no development coming. There is no, in fact, there will be substantial economic hardship, killings, things. So drugs, alcohol, Indian hemp, so many nasty things. And the most thing, talks, or unlike other nearby communities, we'll be shipping them to other places, and we are not there. There's no peace if nothing is done. Currently, what can we do? Is the aim of this since the aim, how do we fix it? So the problem, we can fix it by first of all doing the orientation, which is why we are doing what we are doing now. So we are trying to orient our people, the younger ones, the working class, the elderly, no matter the group you are, the B and the C. Linus told us that we can train these people by process of training. You can change the brain to function very well. You can change the orientation and the alignment, and the bones and the body will recognize themselves. Therefore, growth and development will come. Then on what to then in my own perspective, excellency in excellent science, technical, engineering, and mathematics as a tool, that it can be the best paracetamol, it can be the best vitamin, it can be the best bone healer, it can heal us. So in what way can it heal us? So we are seeing here that we have our brain. How do we develop our brain? The mental wealth. People park their money in the bank, but there's another one they park in their brain. And that is why many people, our parents, sent us to schools, sent us from primary, most of us. So sent us to schools to equip our brain. Science that the more you read, the more you study, the more you keep on reading and the more you keep on guessing, that your nerves, your dendrites interact in more appropriate way and direct how you reason. So, which means that a degenerating brain or disoriented brain could be, in fact, can be corrected. And once we have abundant corrected brain reasoning very well, then we can say that such individual has got a good mental wealth. They can make money, they can develop and do whatever thing they like. But we are as well seeing that here that the females are taking the lead. In the cartoon, I took this cartoon on internet to represent what I'm trying to say. This is a girl child. We can see two of them. We can even see a man. He's carrying a pen. So making observation, science and technology, science and technology can fix our problem in Onicha base. Then what can we do? And we are as well seeing that the head by 18 years. We can use science and technology and skill them up, and they will still marry when they are matured enough and has gotten all these skills. So by not sending our females to school, and when we send them to school, they don't get functional education, we are creating and replicating poverty and difficult environment to live. So when we are talking about functional education in Onicha place, what do we know? They history. Because even history, before. As a small child, I grew up to Enuma Basara, Ezogo, His Royal Majesty, Ezogo Dr. Agomez. I was told the Bob no with his PhD in London. I didn't know what PhD was, but no with a PhD in London. But yes, what does that PhD? What impact nke PhD here no Onicha base? Nde kan ketara oke na as a person. I'm from one tiny small village. How did I benefit from that his PhD? His PhD brought us Onicha Secondary Technical School and 12 other secondary schools in the Opigwe zone. These are the information I got from communication, direct communication with him. So then we were in our old Opigwe Zonal Education Board. So he brought Onicha State on Onicha Text and many other ones. From there, secondary school, primary school. So the awareness of education. So he actually opened it up in Onicha. So we are as well seeing Professor C.N. Ogu. Professor C.N. Ogu, from personal conversation with him, I understood that the initial set in school, he finished primary 6. Go to Jim Bambo, so he was again recruited to teach in primary 6. So, and from there, Anyin Mara that he as well, through the power of science and technology, he went to US, so to United States, and studied chemistry and studied medicine. How does that chemistry and medicine, how does it reflect in Onicha as a development? What does that his capacity, what does that his certificate do in encouraging development in Onicha? So he brought us Onicha General Hospital closer to us. So without him having done this, Ntana Ingweni General Hospital. So, but he did that, and we have health closer to our door. So our healthcare changed, and people are living longer. That is the power of development for effective education. at the historical perspective. Currently, what are the evidence? The development that we want to expand or that we want to encourage. So we are seeing, for example, onye nna anwa eto onye ndo ga Chukwu Nwovoke. So he himself, I understand that he studied in the United States. So, but he's just a gentleman, and he used his hard-earned money over more than 15 to 20 years now. He's been doing and been funding Onicha cultural Christian concert. Every 26th of December every year. Syndrome. So what does he do? Of what impact? He's using his money, personal money, supporting unity, telling us about our culture, why we are the same brothers and sisters, and again developing people in the state of, I mean, in the profession of art. So, and so many other effects, which I may not actually, because Marvel is a social scientist. So we as well see Professor Monde Igwe. Professor Monde Igwe went to Okigwe, Federal Government College, Okigwe, where Joba physics, he might have, in fact, no ordinary family like Anyini. So, but now Joba physics, from physics to medicine. But what impact does this certificate have on Onicha base? So, if or most of us are saying, is that he studied and he came to give back to the community. He as well established a psychiatric care in Onicha. This psychiatric care, the development you hardly see Onyera Nejegare Nonyante. Before anybody with a mental illness, the person will be stigmatized, the family will be stigmatized. But by establishing this psychiatric care, we now understand that mental illness, motor malaria, makeup. That will go to treat the person. So he has actually, he's paying attention to getting functional education, has changed us, and we have that infrastructure around. And you makwara only Reverend One. Reverend One is a pastor, and even though he's a pastor, but he's able to give back to more apart from the spiritual benefit or his spiritual impactation on it. He established evangel school. From the evangel school, he was able to get before there were people who were not able to go back to the mainstream education. Maybe it didn't work, and they came back and they will not be admitted back to the mainstream public schools. He ordered Chikoto and started training them. So, and most of them are now working in different sectors of Nigerian economy. That is development. So we see so many other ones that I cannot mention. Again, we have cultural heritage, and we cannot grow in our education cannot be functional if the cultural heritage is not strong. Only in school, custom and ordinances, establish school in Ige. Therefore, we have the people who have been keeping it before the organizers of this forum. So we have the first Ezeogo 1 of Onicha base. We have Ezeogo 2 and the Ezekona 1 of Igbeze Onicha. These are the people who, because primary school in the arch from a big. Everyone na so too and I bought something Onicha when I was in the village. Perhaps I may not have even gone to school. Papa or mom gave say maybe I may not have, but these institutions have been protecting our community and our cultural heritage. Anyị na-enwetakwa ndị nwoke ụmụ anyị ojoko. These are elderly women that come together to pray for their children. They are praying for the whole of Onicha base. And Onicha, Christian women prayer group. They have contributed enough protecting our culture. However, but we are still seeing tsunami. What is the problem? How can functional education survive in this type of atmosphere? So the problem is so big. Then the alignment and the changes, things are not working the way it used to be. So, and because of that, if we must have functional education, then our cultural heritage that we dropped, our value system has to change. Therefore, what are we saying currently? Our town unions have been converted to political parties. So before, in way political parties, PDP, APC, and all this existing independent, and the town unions were doing their own business independently. During they can do things together or plan together, but they were separate institutions before. But now there are, in fact, we don't know what is happening. Again, what we are seeing, but who, because of one thing or the other, did not receive functional education and have skill issue. They didn't get any good skill. So we see the teenagers or the political people now hijack and took advantage of this, our younger ones not having sufficient tools, sufficient skills to face life. Then they hijack our town unions and give them the chairman of the town unions. So it does not work like that in a very good society. The elders and the fathers and the didn't into more mature to lead and what our culture is. So, but what we are seeing now is that our women now so so those are what we are seeing. So our parents have been pressed to the corner. They cannot talk. They will slap them because they actually will mediate. What is the problem? Perhaps we are overemphasizing politics. Politics is a sector of the economy which is good, but other sectors must be emphasized at the same capacity. So because they are all tools for development. But whereby everybody is following politics, then it can only result to in guns and calamity, stealing, courtism, and so many things. So we need to reduce much attention, or we need to balance our participation in other aspects of economy. Let's say currently it's very hard. Even a man on it, I say Maria can promote to education. It's very hard, especially since 2007 till now. There are dilapidations. So we need to come back. We need to come back to the value system of 1980s. Now, just a minute. So we need to come back to our value system. Now, using culture, how does my own culture help me in my own personal perspective? So, personally, I'm a typical village boy, but just God gave me opportunities. So, in my own way, Papa I support them all what he's doing. He's a very good farmer. He loves me so much. At times, I'm not going to farm work school, but we keep farming until we But how does this help me in my own academic, which I am trying to see if our younger ones, those in secondary school, those who are just finishing, and those who are aiming. So how does that help me to reflect? How does it help me to succeed working with my father in the farm? I attended interview in University of Calabar. That was federal government interview with the Federal Ministry of Education. They came to Calabar to interview substantive people who were supposed to get federal scholarship. So, but my question didn't come from even Nago at all. They asked me, if I go to desert, how do I survive? So I was able to draw experience of my father to know the type of crop, and eventually drawing those experiences in my village was very, very good to succeed without that scholarship. So I'm encouraging our younger ones, as more as you are reading, you are working very hard to get functional education. Do not forget where we are coming from. Know your culture and know what they're teaching you in the class. Work with our parents. We are now talking about science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So what do I know about it before? I didn't know anything originally. I went to secondary technical school. Most of us in a village, so most of us don't even have that advantage of the government college or all those ones. So since this one is very handy, we were able to attend it. But there are people who were very, very, very important for us to succeed. And most of the who have succeeded in science. Mr. Peter Abafo, inter-science physics. Mr. Agu Okike. So he teach commerce, business education, biology, inter-science by Mr. Wankwo. Mr. Okpara, government college. But even though not on a government college, we were able to bring him closer. Government college, mass. So we have a lot of all these gurus. So in Professor Okoriani, then on a secondary school, we were not paying him, but he would volunteer to come and teach us. So those were the people that, but nobody says all this today. We don't remember them because they are the community has gone one-sided. We are so much skilled, but these are the people. You will do very well. So we then my topic now also the challenges and opportunities. What are the opportunities? Is aim. We say we are going to use it to correct Onicha in a functional way. So I want to cite some examples. So anyway,
Doc.
Yes.
I am really, really sorry. But to be honest, what you are giving us is very, very, very crucial. That's why I'm not really interrupted. So I would please plead with you to kind of hasten up. But what you are giving us
I'm going to hasten
is so important that I could not stop you. So just
so
to kind of hasten up because of other speakers.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
we really appreciate. Yeah.
I'm not the bespoke.
Yes. Yes, that is
all the bespoke. So Diko, so
yes,
all the bespoke.
Yes. Continue, sir. Well done, sir.
All right. So anyị nwere anyị na-asụ ndị eka science technology nji iduga anyị wee izi ikoyi ama na-asụ n'ọba nke nka mma ndị ife anyị ji nweta na-eye. So anyị enwe one small boy age 16. So he just finished WAEC na Akwa Ibom. O dere na onwe edezie edezi. Ọkwa from Iho na Canada na ebe na eke Omambe. He was given scholarship direct. He started at age of 16, engineering year 1. So sponsored by government of Canada. Enwekwa senator. So Nekenguma hope for Nwangbe no Onicha. So I mentored a number of people. So by opportunity by state government or by state university in Yerim, I teach some people and I have opportunity to mentor people. So, but in one of the people in the mentor just received the Manu today. Is on Friday anyway. He received offer by Harvard University, Stanford University. These are the best universities of the world. He has five automatic offers. Indeed, they decline in the other. We can convert our young boys. We can convert Indian in our opportunities here. But ne age meya henya. Politics mwekwalike o idubo na kandenya. And science idubo na kajedo more permanent and sustainable. So oge about challenges. We come from families. We are too myopic at times. So our families may be seeing, oh, our fathers, our parents, because so or can ndị be anyị ma ụmụnne anyị bụ ndị nnọba go slow na Port Harcourt and Lagos. So we have to change how we think. And now, what do we do as a community? Ndị promote ife mbokoma na anyị achọ in our community. We promote it by not remembering people who are sacrificing Chukwu is a philanthropist. Onicha administrative block, Onicha secondary technical. But today, what happened? In the mental house, if I go to a welfare, so if I go to a house, house A, house B, not promoting people. So Indian doge agomezi wetara anyị Onicha Technical School. So nde ipanyi uro for ogwaye. FAye enwe agomezi house odu hekwa na Onicha Secondary Technical School. House and Cambridge, group B, group C. Enwe kwama Onicha people who are members of the PTA habakwa ambeye. So those are things we are promoting the decay of our community. So we need to correct how we think and how we reason. So so I'm trying to my practice make people but dysfunctional education not being like for 50,000 say to so but everyone need to exam everyone need the other day that we in the worker see that is how we can get functional education. So if you go Google here now we spend a lot of time in religion and in social activities. They can want to change more to science, more STEM. So it may affect you. The best is to balance your education. To balance how you manage your time. Identify your weakness, your hard subjects. Also, those hard subjects, just spend more time on it. in the next few years, what are we expecting? We are expecting that that we are going to embrace our traditional institution. We are going to embrace our eze anyị, ndị papa anyị, se ha kụziere anyị culture anyị, so anyị take naga anyị start bido na anyị enforce and anyị take our value system back, and you'll be surprised. Ship our people instead of ship go slow. Ship different strategic aspect of Nigerian economy, and not only Nigeria or Wanine.
Rob, thank you. You are awesome.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Thank you, Prof. Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm not going to get to know.
Prof, thanks. So really appreciate Dr. Maswell. Thank you for this kind of research, bringing up all this facts.
It was awesome, informative. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Diko, Professor Koriani, Nokwaneka, and no new Ukraine pre-recorded message. Amanum say Ogo Ufuma since Ononeka.
Yeah, please let him go ahead now. His pre-recorded message cannot equal his presence. So please, yes, let's give him the.
Okay. Prof.
Yes.
Hello, Prof. Dr. Max, you can stop sharing.
Yes, I'm trying to do that. So where do I go?
Stop share. Yeah.
Okay. It's telling me to share. Is it stop or
stop share? Just click on the stop share. Yeah. Beautiful. It's done.
Okay.
Yeah. Prof. Inabue, Professor Koriani. Okay. Earlier, I was again on a conference today, so he sent us a pre-recorded message.
Yes.
So
we can play that. We can play that, please.
We'll play that later.
But not at this time, please.
We'll play that later.
Okay, thank you.
So at this point, please permit me to call on Dr. Eni Oko. Dr. Eni Oko is a lecturer at the University of Hull, United Kingdom. So he will introduce himself and go ahead with his presentation. Doctor, please. Dr. Eni.
Sorry, this is close to.
Okay, yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, bros. I'm seeing wheat growing by the side of your background.
Okay. Hello, Jokwa. Of our local farm in the house.
It's okay.
Because I want to thank the organizers of this event. I am very pleased with this program, and hopefully we can be having something like this in the future. And Dr. Maxwell Omabe, it was an excellent presentation. I wish I was able to speak the dialect, because I think that's what I even enjoyed most with the presentation. Having to talk locally feels more home. My name is Eni, and many of you here were either my classmates in government college or in Futo. And then also I am a lecturer in chemical engineering at the University of Hull here in the UK. Today, what I wanted to talk about, I wanted it to be a bit more like hands-on stuff. I wanted to talk a bit more about scholarship. I have a scholarship blog that I have been running since 2012. And just early this year, we started to see how we can transition it to something more robust than it used to be in the past. I will highlight that shortly. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is also education for empowerment generally. Basically, what I wanted to mention is the fact that if you take away the informal sector, you will see that the job market in Nigeria is actually very small. The job market is very small. And when you consider that currently you have maybe in the region of 1 million graduates in Nigeria annually, you can begin to appreciate more that the opportunities are getting smaller and smaller by the day for people. And this is the reason why positions that will in the past be for people in the or primary school or secondary school, when such positions are advertised these days, you will find even graduates applying for them. This goes to highlight how incredibly difficult it is these days to get into the job market. All right, so where education comes in is that education gives us a bit more advantage in in progressing up the ladder as far as economic empowerment is concerned. The other point is that education will help us assess job markets elsewhere. Many of us are living abroad today, working in a different country. Many of us here that have spoken are working in different countries. I can tell you that maybe 9 out of 10 of us were only able to come here and start working here because we have education. That's it. So it means if we have education, we'll be able to, have a wider reach, progress to other countries to assess the opportunities in those other countries. And eventually we are still going to go back home, and these things have a way of, have this knock-on effect on the people that we have left behind at home. All right, so this is where scholarship comes in, because going overseas is a very expensive project. I am imagining that majority of us here are like myself, from poor homes, and our families, are practically not able to sponsor something like going abroad to go and study. This is where scholarship comes in. And I just wanted to, scholarship is something that could form a theme for discussion in the future, because there are a lot that I would have loved to talk about, but we're already late with time. So what I wanted is a hands-on section where I can show you some very incredibly useful scholarship tips that you can follow up. If you need more information, if you need to talk more about them, I'm open to have a chat with you. You just get in touch through the organizers, and we can take it from there. So the first thing is local scholarships. There are actually a lot of options in terms of local scholarships in Nigeria. The commonest being the oil companies, but know it that the oil companies, many of them are cutting down their businesses because oil is not very fanciful these days. And because of that, the chances are that the opportunities for local scholarships from the oil companies some of them may actually disappear completely in the future. The other big spender when it comes to local scholarships in Nigeria is PTDF. PTDF also have an overseas scholarship, and many of us are actually PTDF scholars. PTDF at the moment is trying to set up their own universities and focus more on local funding, okay? And then you have TED Fund and the rest of them. More importantly, I want to talk about scholarship in Europe. And if you permit me to share my screen, I can then point you through some websites. And if you have more questions about that, we can talk about that after the session. I just want to run things up a bit so that other speakers will have the opportunity to also present what they've got. Okay, so I will just share my screen completely. So the first place that you can go to for overseas scholarships, it's called the World Academy of Sciences. And this body actually provides funding for a lot of scholarships, and Nigerians are eligible for most of them. Okay, so if you were looking for, most of them are closed for this year. Most of them are closed for this year, but these scholarships used to open around January of every year. So if you take note of this website, when you want to look for scholarships, you could find a lot of interesting opportunities in this website. Another very interesting website to take note of is a website called Study in Holland. So if you come to this website, Study in Holland, and you go to finances, you will find that there are a lot of scholarship opportunities here. Most of them, some of them Nigerians are not eligible, but a lot of them Nigerians are. The ones that I particularly want to talk about is the Orange Knowledge Program. Why this is particularly very interesting, many people don't know this, but with the Orange Knowledge Program in Holland, you can actually get scholarship for short courses. I'm talking about programs that are as short as a couple of weeks to several months, up to a year or even more. Okay, so these are the kind of programs that they fund. The other interesting thing about the Orange Knowledge Program is that it runs round the clock in the year. So that means it's something that you can jump on right away, as we are talking about. Is that okay? Okay. So so for the Orange program, I'll just point you to some examples. If you go to the Find program, you will actually see a lot of very short programs that you can jump on right away. This is a particular one that I just came across this morning. It's talking about women empowerment and entrepreneurship policy. And this is a 12-day program at Maastricht University in Holland. And this is a short course, and you could actually get a full scholarship to attend this program, assuming you have interest in this area. How can we get them? I'll talk about that shortly. Then the other one that I will highlight is the EFL scholarship. This is in France. Okay, this is in France. Again, Nigerians are eligible for this particular scholarship, and then if you have a good grade, you can apply directly to this scholarship. Okay, then the last one before I quickly then talk about how to prepare yourself for this is the DAD scholarship. This is in Germany, and then of course you have the Commonwealth scholarship, which is in the UK. How can you get yourself ready for this scholarship? The problem that many of us had in our time, and the problem that many students still have as at today, is that they wait for the scholarships to be advertised before they start the application. I want to tell you that getting scholarship is more difficult than getting a job. The reason is that when you have scholarships like this, you are going to have to compete against people from all parts of the world. If you are applying for jobs in Nigeria, your competitors are just your fellow Nigerians there in Nigeria. In scholarship programs like this, you are going to be, going head to head with people from other parts of the world. That means how we prepare ourselves for this scholarship long before they come is what actually goes a long way in determining whether we get them or not. How can we prepare ourselves? One, for people that are currently students, you have the opportunity to work very hard and finish with a good grade. That is the beginning point. That's the starting point. That is where it starts from, finishing with a good grade. Because the I4 scholarship, for instance, is only for best of the best. So finishing with a good grade puts you at the right position to begin to compete for some of these positions. What else can you do to get yourself ready for them? The second point is that most of these scholarships, they are interested in people that have potential to deliver what they call development impact. Okay. Development impact, what that means is that they are looking for people that when you are given this scholarship and you get all this knowledge and skill, what is your potential in passing on whatever that you have learned to other people in different ways. Okay, so people that have the potential to deliver development impact. What that means is that if you were interested in a PhD or if you were coming for master's degree, that it is important that you design whatever program of study you are interested in. You need to make sure that it is something that will put you in that position to affect lives. What is an example? An example, there is someone we are doing something with in Abakaliki currently, and this guy is doing something that has to do with supporting people in the villages to produce biogas, something like that. If you were coming for a PhD and you have met other criteria and you are putting out a topic that have a good potential to rub off on people's life, your chances are going to be high in landing that PhD. The other point is in preparing your application. Most of these scholarships will require you to write some essays, to write personal statements. And this is why you don't wait till the scholarships are advertised before you start applying. What can you do? You need to get on the website long before they are advertised and find out the requirements and find out the sort of essays that you are required to write. That way you will have sufficient time to spend on writing those essays. You are going to have the opportunity to link up with your mentors or other people that are in the position to review what you have written, to give you feedback and say, if we add this statement, it will be your essay better. If you put this together, going forward into some of these applications, you will give yourself better chance. Then the last point is that because like Commonwealth scholarship, like Shivnin scholarships, because they are interested in people that have the potential to deliver development impact, it is important that if you are interested in some of these scholarships, that somehow from the time you are in school, for you to start putting yourself in that direction already, even before you graduate. How can you do that? Like all of us here, I know that you have things like the Onicha People's Association, Onicha Students Association, for instance. In Afiko, we used to have, Afiko Students Association in Futu back in the day. And through these bodies, you can actually volunteer through these bodies, because this is what we used to do back in the days in Futu. You can actually volunteer to engage in some community-centered sort of activities. If you do things like this, you will be able to build sufficient case studies that you can use in your essays and that will help you have robust applications going into any of these scholarship positions. These points, if you reflect on them deeply and start preparing long enough before these scholarships are announced, keep in mind that the scholarships I have given you, of course, there are a lot of them, and like I said, there is very short time and I can't go into many of them. There are others in America, in Canada, in China, in Malaysia, in Australia, and the rest of them. So maybe in the future, we could have more time to, discuss how you could put together a good application for some of these, using some of the scholarships as a case study, and we can work together to identify how, as a student, you can put together a really, really good application that could give you good advantage going into them. Okay, so so that's all, and I hope the short session was of interest to everyone. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, please get them across and I'll be happy to answer them. And just before I said that we're developing a website, which is still very much in development at the moment. What we are trying to do with this website is that we want to be able to put most of the scholarships, up-to-date scholarship positions on this website so that in the future, you don't need to be jumping from website to look for them. You can just come to this website and you'll be able to find all of them that are active, and then you can take it up from there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Eni. We really appreciate.
Thank you very much.
We
thank you
understand
very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Interesting.
Thank you, Dr. Eni.
Thank you, bro.
Dr. Nat,
Yes,
please be watching out for Professor Akawa so that he can talk when he comes.
I communicated with him a few minutes ago. He's having serious network problem.
Okay, no problems.
But anytime he's on, I will signal you.
No problems. Please, can we call on Dr. Dick Ejike John to speak on behalf of Professor Steve Ebo? Dr. Dick, are you still here, please?
Yeah, yes, he's here. I think maybe he's not. He's listening. He's not.
Okay. Dr. Dick. Hello, Dr. Dick.
Okay, yes, I'm here. Yeah.
Okay, please, can you go ahead, please? Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I'm trying to share my screen. I think it's loading now.
Okay. Yeah.
The network at this end is a bit slow, so just be a little patient. It's coming up.
But we can see your screen, Dr. Dick. You just proceed. We can see it.
Okay. So I just have to.
We can see you very clearly. And we can see, and we can get your screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like something is stopping me from viewing my own screen, so I'm not seeing it, even though it's sharing now.
No, we are seeing your screen, but it's like HP kind of what is on your screen. I think if you just click the right thing.
It's just the desktop displaying.
The desktop. Maybe it has shown you a grid on your screen. So just pick the one that is what you want to present. It will show. Yes, what it's showing is just the HP.
Oh, you can as well go ahead with the message you want to deliver. We are listening.
Sorry, you have to click on the
Destiny, can we do something? Can we give Dr. Dick some time to sort his documents, and we can call another speaker to speak in this period, please?
Open the document first.
Okay.
From the document, open the document first before you start sharing.
Yes, the document is opened, and I've selected.
It's on your screen.
But what is the pen is only
okay, yeah, it's coming up now. It's coming up now. It's coming up.
It's up. It's up. It's up. It's up.
It's up now.
Yes.
Okay.
We can hear you. Just go ahead with what you already have.
Okay. Once again, thank you so much for having me on. My name is Dr. Ejike. I am standing in for Professor Stephen Ebo, who is unavoidably engaged at this moment, and he asked me to send his felicitation and goodwill to the organizers and of course the participants in this very important summit. I will just brief through a write-up he's asked me to read on his behalf, and then I will chip in one or two words afterwards. It's a talk presented on the visual community interaction organized by Onicha Education Foundation. Of course, the topic has been functional education of Onicha as the bedrock for sustainable community development by, of course, Professor Steve Ebo. A lot readily come to mind whenever the term education is mentioned, being one of the most important topics ever discussed. The importance of education cannot be overemphasized and has been inexhaustibly highlighted by different scholars, such as we've had today, both past and present, and has remained a critical subject of discussion both at national, institutional, and organizational levels all over the world. Personally, I believe that the core essence of education was succinctly captured when Alan Bloom simply but yet elegantly opined that education is the movement from darkness to light. This eloquently captured the very definition of education and why it has become the basis for fundamental change in the development of any people. In a nutshell, I would say that the value of, just permit me to, I want to slide this off, okay.
Yeah.
I would say that the value system of a people could be directly measured by the importance attached to the educational pursuit. Therefore, our people who are well known for our doggedness, creativity, and hard work should see education as a major tool for building a productive and prosperous community. This is why I am particularly elated at that a lot of Onicha youths have taken educational pursuits very seriously, culminating in a good number of our people doing extremely well in the pursuit of various degree programs, including at PhD levels in different institutions of higher learning within and outside the country. I also want to quickly add that when we were growing up, we were told that education is the key to success. Is it still so for Onicha people, or have we changed it to go slow hustle is the key to success? Get me right. I am not saying that hustling is bad in itself, as it has helped many of our people who have hustled and worked really hard to acquire education that has widened their scope of knowledge and relevance in the society today, thereby becoming professors, doctors, lawyers, reverends, pastors, as well as successful businessmen and women. Largely speaking, education removes the scale of ignorance that blinds the uneducated. With education, you see the future. You target to realize our vision, your vision, and set on the right path towards realizing your vision, which could also be outside the academia. Simply put, education calibrates you to be the best in your chosen field of endeavor. This is what education is all about. Also, while others are waiting for the future to come, you grab opportunities that the future brings with ease. This is the reason education is and will continue to remain the key to success. Ignore education and dare the future, and you will end up regretting your past. The past of wasted opportunities that denies you the benefit of the present and the future. Finally, I want to congratulate the organizers of this educational summit for their foresight in coming up with this brilliant program aimed at stimulating the consciousness of our people. Please don't make this event the last, but rather the beginning of many more concerted efforts geared towards deliberately putting our dear Onicha clan on the world's map. Thank you for listening. Having said that,
thank you.
Yes, I just want to quickly add that, like I said, my name is Dr. Ejike Dick, and I'm from Ogbonnaya in Amanato on the Chukwu. And I want to quickly thank the organizers of this summit. It's just so amazing and timely. And it's coming at a time where the Onicha people needs something like this very, very seriously. And I want to put Prof's message in context using a personal experience. Like I said, I'm from Ogbonnaya, a very small, tiny community in Amanato in Onicha local government. And my father, who is late now, happened to love education very much. He was not educated, but he was so passionate about education. And because of that, he wanted me to pursue education with all my heart. And he encouraged me everywhere, in a lot of ways. He was the person that told me that I can be anything I want to be. I can get to any level I want to get to. However, unfortunately, in my first year in Ebonyi State University, I lost my dad. But because he has, stimulated my consciousness, and he wanted me, and I wanted to actually go through all that he has told me, I had that at the back of my mind that I must do whatever I can to succeed. And so while I was still struggling to finish up my first degree, I was already looking at how I'll become a PhD holder. And so while interacting with a lot of friends back then, a very good friend of mine told me that one of the things I would do to start my master's degree after my first degree was to save up my National Youth Service allowance, because he understood where I was coming from. He understood very well my background, my financial capability, and he wanted me to plan. And I took that advice very seriously. And when I went for service in Gombe, I was able to save up. And with that, I was able to buy my form to start my master's degree in UNM. And while at UNM, I was always looking out for scholarships. And I was fortunate that I had a lot of friends and lecturers then that, always speak to us about scholarship, both locally and outside Nigeria. And a renowned professor then, Professor C. Okafo, a professor emeritus of organic chemistry, told us one day that we should scan for scholarships. We should not be happy with just obtaining a master's degree and joining the labor market. That we should, there are scholarships, just like Dr. Eni mentioned. He mentioned the Commonwealth Scholarship and several other scholarships that he told us about while I was in UNM. And of course, the federal government scholarship. And at that time, immediately I applied for a federal government scholarship in UNM, and I was able to secure, I was among the 6 people that got the scholarship. And with that, I was able to finish my master's degree. And I also landed another scholarship with Sao Tome and Principe, which paid me in 2010 $1,000. And that made it very easy for me to finish my master's degree with ease. And I didn't stop there. So I was also looking out for more opportunities. And I was opportune to be sponsored by Ebonyi State government for a PhD degree in the UK. Why am I saying all this? I'm just saying it because I could be speaking to somebody today who was in my situation or who could be in the same place I was at that time, where you have the passion, you have the conviction, you know exactly what to do, but you know you do not have the financial muscle to back it up. So all you need to do is to key into programs like this, ask questions, look for opportunities. And I thank God that the last speaker gave us a lot of revelations that a lot of people can key into and make their dreams come true. So thank you so much once again. And I am very happy and I congratulate the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ejike.
That was great.
Thank you.
Clap for you. Thank you so much. God bless you. Real good.
You stood in for quite.
Please, is Professor Akawa here or Professor Ani?
Professor Kawa is not yet on.
Okay, so please let's go to Dr. David Okorafor if he is still here. I saw him a while ago. Dr. David. Is he still here?
Yeah, David Okorafor is here.
Okay.
He's here.
Okay, please, David, you can take the stage, please.
Dr. Okorafor, can you hear us?
While Dr. Okorafor is getting ready, I could see Lawson Okereke raising hand. Do you have anything to say, Lawson? Or you didn't know?
Okay, please. If Lawson has something to say, he should drop it in the comment box. We'll have time for question, contribution, and answers.
Okay. Yeah, Lawson, please, if you have a question, drop it in the comment box, and you know, your question will be given attention with time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Afambo David Okorafor, Mbonyuvu. I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers of this event, particularly my senior from secondary school, Dr. Chukwuma, and indeed, all of you, because somehow I was aware when this whole thing started. It began like a conversation, but today is a reality. So I also thank the speakers who have spoken before me, Dr. Maxwell and Enyoko. I'm particularly happy to have you here, the professors in our midst, all the participants. So, Mbonyuvu, yes, Kuna Government College, Government in the UNN. So I was a scholar, Chevron, Mobile, and all that. Then I'm a member of a National Postgraduate Medical College, Faculty of Radiology. I'm also a fellow of West African College of Surgeons and a consultant radiologist at the Department of Radiology, Alex Ekweme Federal University Teaching Hospital. So the idea of this summit, as far as I'm concerned, is for us to make strategic effort to begin to change the narrative in our community. I've taken time to go through the list of participants, about 60 or more people, or 69 at the moment. And I've seen that the greater majority of us are actually people who have made great successes in life for themselves. What am I trying to say? They might not be the people we are trying to reach. So that made me to begin to think of this summit as a gathering of masterminds, people who are trying to make strategic efforts to change history in their own place, which means that it is very important that whatever we are discussing here, we should own that responsibility of spreading it to others, because we are masterminds. So we are going to spread the message, guide our own people on how we can change our future. I live in Enugu mostly. I also live in Abakaliki, but the daily experience I have with our people on the streets of Enugu and the major highways is ridiculous and embarrassing, to say the least. Because all the hawkers hawking on the road are practically from our own communities, autonomous community. And it's a great burden. Now, I'm not going to lend any intellectual tone to anything I have to say. I want to focus more intensely on how we can take off, because the government cannot change our story for us. And not everybody will be able to get a scholarship. Yet we need as many people as possible to have basic education. And when I say basic education nowadays, I classify university education as basic education. What do we do? How do we take off? Now, a few days ago, I was, musing to myself, and I was like, if I should be a royal highness, a traditional ruler, I will not give any traditional title to anybody who has not produced a graduate. That graduate could be your own child or someone else in the community. People have got to wake up. There's a lot of blame to trade, because as a matter of fact, our parents have not, in fact, they didn't pay their dues. That's just the blunt truth. We are where we are because somebody somehow could not pay his or her own dues. And if anybody's parents didn't pay, they have got to pay. And if they can't pay, the next generation is going to suffer to try to pay. So can we, as masterminds who are trying to, arrive at strategic plans to help increase education in our communities, start somewhere. If you don't have money, you can give guidance. I remember my best man here, my classmate, Engineer Benison, we were together at Government College Afikpo. When they were attending lessons in town, I couldn't join them immediately, but I always listened to all the conversations they had after they came home. That was when I learned that if I could have great O-level results, I could get oil company scholarships. In my SS1, so I started working towards it. And I had the right information, so much so that in my first year, I started searching every newspaper in Nsukka looking for advertisements. And because I was purposeful in my search, I eventually found 3. And that was how I was able to go through school. So we need to give, these are people who are not here on this platform, the orientation and the information they need. But then if you have money, you can undertake the sponsorship of someone Even if it's we can start from the family level. I'm not bragging, but I tell you that as I speak to you, I'm keeping 2 undergraduates in school. They are not my relations. They are just from my community, and they said they want to go to school. And I looked at their family background, and I was like, I think this is doable. So I started doing something about it, and I intend to do more. So we as elites, we should begin to own some of these responsibilities. Because just like I said, the government won't do it all, and we can't all get scholarships. But if we have to change the story of our people, this is one of the things we can do. Share information, sponsor those you can. And, I listened very carefully to Dr. Maxwell when he was speaking. There are certain areas he touched. And one of those areas that is prime is security. Now, I belong to a similar organization formed by our people called Pesitars Group, of which I'm the vice president. So we started thinking that it would be good if we tackle some of these problems. So, and we first said security is key. And that was when we now started pulling resources together to start building a police station at Egonkwo. Yeah, some people didn't like it from a philosophical perspective, but we know it for a truth that it is, that unless you have security, development will be very difficult to achieve. At least their presence, no matter how bad the Nigerian police is, their presence can deter some of these crimes going on at home. You can't have a bank in our community unless you can guarantee security. There's so many things you can't achieve. There is chaos everywhere. So we decided to start from that, and some of you are members and you're here. You've made a lot of commitment. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that the bulk of the responsibility lies on us. If you have seen roads, you have to shine light for others behind you so that together we can achieve greatness. And what makes a city, what makes a town, is that this other person is well-to-do, he has a good building, he doesn't beg for anything, and his neighbor is equally capable, and the neighbor's neighbor is equally capable, and everyone is good. When you come to that place, everything the whole place is lit. So that is my own perspective, and I want to encourage us in whatever we are doing. This education summit, I'm very optimistic that something very positive is going to emanate from it, either as a group or individual mindset getting changed. So once again, I thank you all for listening to me. God bless you all indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dave. That was great.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dave. Thank you so much.
Please, Chidima, Chidima Wankwa, are you still online?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
please, because of our time, let's allow Chidima to. Okay. Benison, please, you can read her citation so that she can take the stage. Thank you.
Right. Can everyone hear me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good. Chidima is someone I'm very proud of. And to be honest with you, when I was told that I'll be reading her citation, I felt it's an honor on its own. So Chidima Umahiwankwa is a licensed lawyer called to the Nigerian Bar and currently a Masters of Arts candidate at University of York in Canada. Chidima earned her Masters of Law degree with distinction in Tulane University, New Orleans, where she was a PEO, International Peace Scholar. Prior to that, he has her bachelor's degree from Ebonyi State University and worked with the Ministry of Justice and Rule of Law Empowerment Initiative in Niger State. She thereafter also worked with Taylor Center for Social Innovation and Design Thinking and interned with Purple Campaign and Ujima, a national center for violence against women in Black community. Chidinma is passionate about supporting projects focused on social justice initiatives and helping professionals improve their learning through personal development. Chidinma is one of our own who now crisscrosses across the globe, winning scholarships to herself and being very great. She's one of such persons people should look up to, that it is doable even in our community. Thank you as you take over the floor, Chidinma.
Good morning. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Today, it's a great honor and privilege on topic. I'll be talking on how to assess local and overseas undergraduate and postgraduate scholarship. I will first of all start with my favorite quote by Nelson Mandela, which is that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. My objective here is just to create a little highlight of what it entails to apply for scholarship, both locally and globally, but also to give example of how to answer some of the questions. And at the end of the day, I hope that some of the students or individual listening would have a different mindset and a different approach towards approaching some of these opportunities when it comes. So just to start, I would mention some of the limiting factors and hindrances that might stop one from applying for opportunities or scholarship. The first thing I have here is growth or fixed mindset. So for you to apply for any scholarship or for you to apply for any opportunity, your mindset is very vital. The kind of mindset you bring. Are you bringing in a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? So what I mean by a growth mindset is, are you seeing that there is an opportunity? Are you striking to meet your goals? Are you striking to work hard towards achieving it despite all obstacles? Like, are you ready to take up the challenge as it comes, instead of thinking, okay, because you don't have money or because you don't have all the resources required, you wouldn't apply? The second thing I would say is grades. Yes, grades are important, but the other criteria that schools or scholarship committees usually consider. Intelligence, yes, is important, but and the other ways, even if you don't have very good grades, to augment for it. But I would encourage those that are still in school to work harder. The next thing is rejections. Part of the challenge you experience while going through graduate school or graduate school application process for scholarship, fellowship.
Hello, Chidinma, we lost your audio. You muted yourself. Okay.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know where you missed out on okay, but
rejection from rejections.
Oh, okay. So I said part of the process in applying for graduate school and scholarship is that you will receive a lot of rejection letters. Sometimes the rejections might even outweigh the acceptance you will have, but it's always good to remember that rejections are part of the building block for success. And sometimes rejections are not even about you. It could just be that there's a certain criteria or there's a certain people that their admission committee wants to attract. So at that point, what an individual applying for scholarship needs to do is to go back to the drawing board, find out how they can make better applications or put in better efforts, you know, more than what they did the last time, just to get to the top 10 or the top best students that will be selected. Another thing I would mention here is that there are challenges that an individual might have. So it's good at the beginning stage when you're still preparing, you go back to your drawing board to find out what are the challenges, write out your strategies and take them from different steps. And each of them will keep going side by side till you get to your end goal. Another hindrance one can have is finances. Yes, the money might not be there, but the truth is, it takes a community to take a child, to train a child. Once there is a will, there is a way. But we must see your dedication, we must see your commitment towards a cause. And once you've put in effort, believe you me, doors will open. And there are many opportunities that you don't even need money to apply for. All you need to do is to write an essay and you will get in once you do the perfect things. I would run off from here, but finally, I want to say that you must see every opportunity when you're applying for both scholarship or for fellowship or whatever it is, both locally or globally, as an opportunity for personal and career development. It's also an opportunity to network and build your portfolio as a professional. Now, going over to the scholarship, there are different kinds of scholarship. I'm going to just talk about both the local and the global scholarship together just because of time constraints. We have the general scholarship, just like the Chevening scholarship, the Commonwealth scholarships. The general scholarships are scholarships that are open to every individual on the pool, or to every individual, irrespective of your discipline, irrespective of your gender, irrespective of subject matter. You can send in an application as far as you meet the criteria or the eligibility portfolio. And also schools usually give tuition waivers, which can be regarded as general scholarships. While specific scholarships are scholarships like positions that can be offered to you as TA positions in schools, or even scholarships that are targeted to gender, a particular gender, just like the PEO scholarship that I won. You could also have scholarships from institutions which are targeting a certain professional or a certain people from, let's say, Black men in developing world. It all depends. Now, what should you look out for when you're applying for some of these scholarships? There are certain criteria that most scholarships look out for. One is your career plan. Now, when we're looking at career plan, we're not just looking at your general career plan. It also includes your plan or your professional progression as an individual. They look out for your leadership experience. Now, people always say, I don't have leadership experience. No, your leadership experience even start counting from your role. Let's say, for instance, in the church, it starts counting from your role in the family. How are you able to tell your story, or how are you able to position yourself? That would help you to distinguish yourself and stand out. No matter how little you think your story is, you never know if that is the story or that's the kind of candidacy a committee is looking out for. The next thing they want to see is your ability to network. Network in terms of building network among other professionals, using your network to produce impactful results in your community. And also they want to look at academic achievements. So now another thing I want you to note at this point before I move on to the next point is that there are deadlines towards applications to school. I had already recorded an intro video on how to apply to schools, which I will share the link to the organizers so you can go back and watch it if you're interested to learn how to make applications to school. Now there are essays to be written. different scholarship bodies or international organizations have different criteria. Recently, some of them have started requesting that people record some audio or make an innovative project just to portray their candidacy. So it could come in different form, but you must be aware of what the word limits are and make sure that you're perfectly meeting up with all the criteria. And also another thing to think about is the objective of the scholarship. So for instance, I won the PEO scholarship, and under the PEO scholarship, they're looking for women from developing countries who are interested in going for graduate school, but at the same time are interested into pushing the cause of women and girls towards promoting peace. Now, if you don't meet that criteria, you don't have any business applying for such a scholarship. Or if you meet the criteria to a certain extent and you think, okay, I'm missing out on some point, then that's where you go back to build, or that's where you tell out what you've already done to meet a criteria. So let's say, for instance, you work with a general focus, but your project or your work previously has been focused on both male and female, and you want to apply to such a scholarship. Now you need to narrow down your narrative to focus basically on how your project has impacted and would impact women. Moving on to the next slide, there are different stages for applications. At the first stage, you have to identify the type of application, you have to identify the deadlines, you need to find out what the eligibility criteria are. And you also need to have a tracker where you're filling in your documents with all the information you need, including the date for submission. If there are actions to be taken, you need to have that in your tracker as well. Once you've identified the application you want to make, the next step is to prepare. And preparation stage also include, like, for instance, those that want to travel outside the country, getting a passport. It also include having contact with mentors to discuss with them about their experiences, or even to talk with other people. So there are different things that come under the preparation stage, but it's always important for you to go with the different stages just to make sure you don't miss any details out. And sometimes it's also good to start preparing a year or 2 years ahead, even though it's not late to start now, for instance, for those applying this year, but it's always good to have your portfolio, like you start building it ahead of time. I usually suggest to some of my mentees to have a one document strategy notebook for application, for job, whatever it is. You know, you document your process and you document some of the things you've achieved. That way you can be able to take out whatever you need when you're applying for fellowships, for research grants, or for even scholarships. After applying, there is a waiting stage. At the point of waiting, you might be called in for interviews, and after interviews, different offers might be made, and the offers might also include the rejections. But if you have rejections, you move on. But if you don't, and you have a lot of scholarships, you might have to choose one. So the next thing I just want to remind the audience is that there are sacrifices to be made. It's like having a full-time job, applying for scholarships. You're going to spend a lot of time on the internet, scouting out for resources, looking out for people to talk to, looking out for professors that you want to write to see how your work meets up to the criteria of the work that they are doing and how you can get involved. You need to make the effort, obviously. You need money, you need a good mindset, you need dedication, and most importantly, you need the grace of God. Or, I mean, I know most of us on the call are Christians, but whatever you believe in, you always need to go with your faith as you apply. Now, just go ahead and give us an instance of what an application question, or sorry, a sample essay question, what it looks like and how to answer it. So this is one of the questions I had in one of my essays. And now it's asking the question, we want to get to know you better. Tell us about your family and why education and breaking through barriers for women and girls is important to the person you are now and the person you hope to become. Now, here there are different questions. Under one questions, there are different categories of questions, but the applicant needs to bear in mind that the organization wants to get to know you. In answering this question, you must make sure that the first thing you answer is about your family, telling them about your family. And the second thing is to tell them why education is important towards breaking the barrier for women and girls to you and then to who you intend to become. Now, even if you're writing this question, you need to simplify it in such a way that it's easy for people. The art of storytelling is important when writing essay questions when it comes to fellowship and scholarship applications, because it helps the audience, it keeps them attentive. You want to be that candidate that the committee, even after reviewing so many applications, remember, you want to be that candidate that, you know, used your story to talk about your journey and it resonates with them. Now, I would always say, and I will always advise, like when an applicant is applying for scholarship application, you might have different portfolios of things you've done. Now, you can't use all your portfolio in all the essays. You have to find the one that works. So for instance, if I'm applying, I would only be talking about social justice initiative that I've done when it relates to women and girls. I wouldn't be talking about, say for instance, other activities that I've done, maybe being an entrepreneur or being in business, because it doesn't relate. I want to have a narrative that flows because I'm introducing myself as a lawyer who has been working with women and children, things like that. So the next thing I have here is the application tracker with timeline. So in developing your application tracker, you need to know the type of application, the action to be taken, the deadline, individual timelines, and also set reminders. In certain reminders, you might need to find mentors, you might need to find accountability partners, or you might even need to have someone that is also on the same journey as you are, that would always have a constant reminder and you can share ideas with. Another thing to look out for is opportunity to interact with people, like on Zoom calls like this one. People usually share their ideas, they usually share tips that have helped them on those calls. And also when some schools host their open houses, they might share information that ordinarily you might not find on the website, or ordinarily they wouldn't share to the whole public. Now, there are resources that are available to applicants that might be interested. You can sign up for newsletters from different institutions that might have sponsorship, that might have opportunities posted there. You can also use the Google Alerts to save up on scholarship or different keywords. That way you can be able to track your progress with some of the application. You can use social media as a tool. You can find key industry leaders, and you can look for opportunities on some opportunity and education websites like Opportunity Desk, Opportunity for Africa, Getting Education, etc. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Barrister.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Barrister.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chidima.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is a expatriate opinion.
Okay.
So who is the next to be called on the stage?
Okay.
Professor Akawa is ready.
Okay, is he here?
I'm talking to Dr. Naktif. Professor Annie also to talk.
Okay.
They're my friends.
Okay,
sorry, Chizarami is saying that your son, they are her cousins.
Yeah.
Yes. Zaram, we appreciate your presence too.
Okay, can we move on?
At this point, I think we would want interventions from our elderly people who are in the house.
Exactly.
So
I can.
Chukwu is here, Professor. Other professors, any of them that has any intervention.
Can specifically, I think we can just specifically let them. No, we can call on Professor Odinwankwo. We've been seeing he's been here since the beginning till now. So we want to have your input to the program and the organization that is started for Onicha people. So if you are available still, you can have 5 minutes to speak to us while we wait for 2 more speakers. Is he there?
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's just in case any of them, anybody has any intervention, particularly from our elders, you can make. But if you don't have any intervention, you are not constrained to do so. So
we also have Dr. Anoke Fabian with us.
Yeah,
so
anybody that has any intervention, you want to say something, please, you just raise your hand. Engineer Humphrey will identify you and call you. I may not be watching this thing, okay? Okay, at this juncture, please, I want to say that just a few minutes, and I want to say thank you for your patience. We will be closing maybe in the next 20 minutes. Thank you for your patience. So just to say that the Onicha Education Foundation is a platform. It's not a small organization that few people are making. It's a kind of a platform where Onicha people, even individuals with ideas, can feed it into this organization and it will be implemented. Just look at it. So we want to create a system that can enable good things. For instance, we could see somebody mentioned mentorship. So Dr. Enioko has even, said to us in advance, if we want him to have special sessions on how to apply for scholarship, how to write letters, how to write proposals, anything at all, we should just invite him. We also know that people like Dr. Maxwell Omabe call him any day and tell him that Onicha people want you to deliver any kind of specialized information, he will answer. So this is a platform. We've been waiting for Professor Akawangu. Professor Akawangu told us that he will be giving us 50,000 naira every year to put in this foundation to support poor people in the community. I think he said up to 10 years or so, I can't remember.
Up to 20 years, up to 20 years.
20 years, thank you so much. So we are looking for a situation where every year we announce a scholarship in his name, call people to apply. It will be a very competitive process. Our benchmark, one of our benchmark is you have to score 70 and above. I mean, we want to set a standard for excellence. We have various, I told you this is a platform. This is not just a kind of a small meeting. It's a platform. With your idea, if you have any idea you don't want to implement it by yourself, but you want to implement it for the community, you put it into the foundation. We design the processes, design how to measure the impact, design how to assess and select people, and implement it. I was telling somebody that even, you know, things like guaranteeing people, okay, guaranteeing people, allowing people to borrow money, go to school, and repay when they get the money. These are the things we want to do. And we are running an open organization. Our strategy document is in the open. Everything we are doing, every year we prepare an annual report and send it to all Onicha people to see what we are doing, and also so that they can participate. I'm just trying to emphasize the fact that this is a platform where we can always configure particular objectives or targeted objectives and achieve them. All of them using education as a fulcrum for community development. So since we are waiting for intervention, I would also want us to listen to Mary Chukwuma. I don't know whether she's available. She wants to target a girl child in the community, and she shared an idea which I completely back her. So I don't know, Mary, if you are available, you can just
please let me come in shortly before that.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Please, whosoever that is charged with the responsibility of playing Professor Ney's video should also be ready. If it's ready now, I would even suggest we listen to that before Mary's comment. Okay. But if not, she can come in.
I think that's okay. I forwarded it to the center, and if they don't have it, I can download it and play it from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do.
Okay, let me
I think it should be better we play it from here.
We play from here, please.
Yeah, because I think the network may be more stable than playing it from that end.
Please wait.
Go, please. Go, please. Dr. Nat, can you play from your desktop?
Wow. Okay.
Please play from your desktop.
I don't know if we can take that as the last item, so that the people that are physically present.
Anyway, I think I agree with you, Prince. I think those that are not present here, we should
they have things to say. We can take that now, and we see how we can manage to. We'll see how we can manage to end.
Yeah. Dr. Nat, are you making effort, or I should work on it?
You can go ahead while I also keep trying to get my YouTube channel from here. But if you let somebody else keep doing something, then
as Prince said, I think it's better for Mary Des to first make her presentation, then followed by when you are able to sort this out, you can then present it.
Some of the speakers that are present should make their presentation. While we wait, we can use this one at the end of the program.
Exactly.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that I'm not, there's no problem with my speaker.
So, is Mary going to talk?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Now,
Ogbo, you are welcome.
And then Professor Maxwell, he on training the girl child, and then like for such statement, because sometimes I feel that the girls they're somehow behind, underrepresented. when it comes to educational development. And I believe as a nation, Nigeria needs to implement the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. But it is not our duty now. We have to leave that for the federal and of course the state and the local government government to think about that. And it's also my understanding that OEF have created a platform for communal actions to use education as a tool for sustainable development, community development. And also, then the Onicha community can as well mobilize themselves to work for, to develop the community through education. And for instance, one of their goals, the first goal focuses on eradicating poverty, and also the second goal, I believe, deals with achieving zero hunger, and the number 4 goals focus on quality education and as well gender equality, number 5. So as about that, on that basis, I want you all to permit me to focus on the fact that there's need to ensure that the girl child is supported in Onicha, because it will provide them the opportunity, like their male counterparts, okay, to contribute their quota to community development. And after consulting with my husband, my Dr. Engineer Chukwuma Ogbonnaya, I actually announced Meridea Scholarship for the girl child. So every year, to the extent that the funds might be just, is not all that much, but I believe we can start from somewhere. I will donate a fund to OEF so that they can use their internal process to select those that the award will be given to. So by 2022, by the grace of God, we'll be donating 100,000 to 5 girls in the primary schools in Onicha. And like I said, it's not as if now maybe there's really too much money, but at least we can start from somewhere.
Start with that.
We'll start from somewhere, and step by step, we'll build a nation. So, and I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers of OEF for such opportunity, and I believe by the grace of God, Chineke may perfect His will in every actions that we are taking from henceforth. Thank you all very much, and God bless you.
God bless you too, man.
No, but thanks.
God
bless you so richly.
Thank you.
It was a good idea.
Yes, no, and I believe technical, they were listening to you. And as I saw them this morning, when the picture was posted, I could see young girls seated at Egonqua and Technical listening. And if you are listening to us, seated there, go on a secondary school, evangel, money technical, money community, money this meeting is for you. That you need to start thinking, no, school, so people are coming together to pull resources together to make you education sort of attractive, sort of competitive, so that people begin and then give back to the society in the future.
Okay, sorry, I just needed to make a little clarification on the donation email. She mentioned 100,000 to be presented to 5. Is it 100,000 each to 5 girls, amounting to 500,000, or 100,000 to be given to 5 girls? So we are clear on that.
Oh, sorry, 5 persons, as in to be distributed among 5 persons.
Across the 5 persons.
That's 20,000 each for the.
Okay, all right.
20,000 each.
All right, it's taken. Thank you.
Dr. Nat, were you able to get the video?
Yes.
Please share the video.
Okay.
Sorry, why he's trying to share the video? Can I personally thank Mary Days? This is not the first time that Mary is donating money to this organization.
I'm telling you.
Mary donated 50,000 naira to us a couple of months ago. And his wonderful husband, Destiny, outside his time, his knowledge, and his commitment to this organization, he has made a pledge to be giving us 100,000 naira every year for the next 10 years. So we owe this family a lot. Yeah. And we believe that other members of our community are seeing this. And, will be spurred to come on board and know that just like Dr. Okorafor said, in his speech, that there's no other way to solve this problem than all of us coming together. Thank you so much, Mary Days. Thank you. Yes, let's hear from Professor Annie.
Is it Professor Kawang?
No, Professor Annie, please.
Okay.
Please start from the beginning. Start the audio. Yeah. We can't hear the audio, Dr. Nat.
You're not getting it?
We are getting it, but the volume is low. No volume.
You're not hearing the audio?
Yes, we are not hearing.
Wow, what is wrong?
Dr. Nat, if you are using an earpiece, remove the earpiece.
Can you hear now?
Yes,
a bit.
Yes, you can hear it.
Increase the volume, please.
You can start from the beginning. Please, we'll manage the audio. Just pay attention to what he's saying. You can start.
Nat.
Yeah.
Can you make us a cover screen? You saw what for Sunday and the others.
Okay.
Yeah, just click somewhere here and get off those rubbish, Just click on this one. Thank you.
Move downwards and on the video towards to your right. You will see towards to your right on the video. Yes. Towards to your right on the video. Down.
Video,
click on the video.
Where to expand it?
On the video itself.
You can pause it while doing that.
Dr. Nat, touch the video. You will see an icon towards your right. You will see a box there. You click it.
On the topic of functional education of Onicha as bedrock of sustainable community development. Firstly, I want to thank the organizers of this laudable project, notably
No, Nat, go down.
Yes, now.
Go down.
Right.
By your right, you will see a kind of square.
A square with a square that is broken.
The square board.
But at the same time, Sunday is not stopping us from hearing the man. Why can't we leave Sunday and they listen to what he has to?
And that's why increase the volume on your PC.
Please, a lot of people are talking. What's the problem, please? Should I go on?
Don't worry, go on. Instead, I will call Nat and I will talk with him. We can.
Many instruments that makes people, society to be at par with the developed countries. You can't think of it. If you look around, if you should go back to history, you will observe that all the developed nations of the world, you will name them US, Britain, France, Germany, and the level of development today now take it down home. If you come to to our locality, neighboring community, you check when they embrace education, how far have they gone? That is how the neighboring community. Onicha has been right from 50s, 60s, but we've not got to our destination point. That is why at this point we must not allow our neighbors, our contemporaries to overtake us. And it is only education that will help us to attain such of success of every society, every community. Economic, social, and political development. No, it's not abuse. That is why Nigerian government came up with Nigerian policy on education. And about 5 patent items were listed. And if education should achieve this aim, such elements must be embraced by every community. That education should be free and democratic. It engenders free and democratic society, a just and egalitarian society, united, strong, and enlightened nation, a great and dynamic economy, and a land full of bright opportunities for all. These are the elements that bring about sustainable development in any village, in any community, in any society, in any nation. Take education away, that amounts to darkness. And that darkness, as it were, takes us many thousands of kilometers backwards in terms of development. I've got to realize that education is very important in our very existence. And because of the shortness of time given to me, there's something I jotted down. And as a suggestion, every family should encourage her citizens to embrace education, no matter how hard. During our time, it was difficult. Many people with high intellectual capacity fell by the side because people at that point never embraced the importance of education. Education gives you a lifelong benefit.
You didn't see plumber. I don't think that one is a plumber sellers. I don't know whether he done something plumbing job.
To sacrifice every other thing in place of education. So
do you know exactly what he's supposed to do?
Leisure and pleasure.
Yeah.
That we are not regretting it. And families who see many people educated, will remain different, and there will be no problems in communities where majority of people are educated. Take for instance Britain and America. We don't have much good laws, but people who refuse to take education as an instrument of success will never have peace. We will not have the much expected development. Therefore, I encourage all of us that education should be learner-centered for maximum development of self-fulfillment. Teaching shall be practical, activity-based, experience, and it should be IT supported. This is the modern trend. In all, because of time, I noted that education is the basic foundation of human and societal development. Society is strongly associated with economic indices like economic growth, high level of technological development, self-sufficiency in food provision, and good governance. When education is done the right way, all these things are achievable, and we will all be better for it. In summary, we should note the following as the basic things that education confers on us. One, education is power. That has been a popular saying. Education is power. With good education, there's no way you cannot go on this earth planet, and you will hold your head high. Nobody molests you. Know your rights. Know what you should do at any point in time. Among other things, education makes it possible that securing food and shelter becomes very possible without hazards. It also protecting life and property, exchanging ideas, food and shelter becomes very possible without hazards. It also helps in protecting health, life and property, exchanging ideas and assistance, adjusting to changing conditions. When situations change, education will confer on you the ability to adjust and survive whatever circumstance you find yourself. A saying goes that a successful living is a matter of adaptation to the environment. It's only education that can give you living. There's also the element of sharing in citizenship and nation building, controlling the environment and preserving the ecology, educating the young and developing oneself, enriching family living and society, appreciating the past and adjusting to the future. Education gives you history, it helps you to adjust to the present and think about tomorrow, how you will do and live a better life, meeting social needs and religious obligations. People who are not properly educated rather, will never be religiously right in their religious beliefs. They turn things upside down, but education gives you the right. It makes you understand what the Bible says. It makes you to read on your own and adjust your life to make a meaningful living. And all, it equally makes one to be very confident of himself, to be at par with people who are already up there. On this note, I would say I'm glad to be part of this. At any point in time, I'm caught up to talk on it. I always talk because education has been my life wire. I've been teaching since 1994 in India. I've never worked elsewhere. And I believe our people, the upcoming ones, should see education as a priority in all their life endeavors. Thank you. organizer, it will yield a lot of dividends. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow. So that was Professor Ani's presentation. It's on the YouTube. You can search Professor Ani, Onicha Education Foundation. Listen to that presentation. Thank you.
I believe, I think there was a bit of network glitches and some technical glitches around the presentation, but the professor have. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yes, the erudite Professor Ani has actually done a very great job. Just like Dr. Obasi said, it is on the YouTube. So once you type Professor Ani Onicha Educational Foundation, you will be able to have unrestricted access to that, reservoir of knowledge and drink as much as you would want to. Yeah, Destiny.
And please, we need to bring this meeting to a close. Because we are doing it online, we are conscious of that, and we want to thank you for. So what we want to do now is we give the announcement. Please, you can fill a feedback form on the chat box. Feel free to fill it. We give the announcement, give vote of thanks, and we close. Okay. So all the questions.
Announcement, comment to make.
Okay. We'll give the announcement. Give vote of thanks, comments. People will give comments, we'll give vote of thanks, and we'll close. Please, we know that people have questions, but we are going to collect it and answer it. Okay, we'll collect it and answer them, but we can also entertain maybe 1 or 2 questions from the centers, particularly from the viewing centers.
Yeah, 2
okay.
questions.
Please go ahead with please, moderators. Let's allow Dr. Ejike to go ahead with the announcement. Dr. Ejike, please.
No, I want to suggest that because Dr. Maxwell wanted to say something. I don't know if he's still, or should I go ahead with the announcement?
Yes, he wants to say something.
Yeah, so please, can you allow him to say something?
Okay, just 1 minute, Diko. If Diko Ndingwembo. Mụ na ezinụlọ m jekwe iji 100,000 akwado imezi na Egwani secondary school every year unu made this program for afọ 10 na-abịa n'ifu.
Wow. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. God bless you, sir.
Yes,
God bless you.
wow. So, Dr. Jai, go ahead, please.
Okay. I want to thank everyone for your attendance, and I know that some of us maybe have 1 or 2 things to complain about the hosting of this event. In order to improve, in order to make it better the next time we are going to have it, I think I want to encourage everyone to complete the feedback form. I think you'll find it here at the chat box. So endeavor to complete the feedback form. Those at the viewing center can complete the paper-based form. And if they're unable to do so, or if they prefer the online form, they can ask any of the OEF member for assistance, and all that. Also, we've not actually decided on a date for any new event. So we are going to update people as soon as we've decided on any date for event. So if you are willing, just as Dr. Maswell has just done, if you are willing to donate to us financially, you will find our account on the feedback form, or you can get to any of us, any member of Onicha Education Fund to guide you on how to make your donation. So membership is free and is open to every indigenous of Onicha community. And so intending member, if you are intending to join us, please let us know. You can contact any of our members and we will guide you through how to become a member. So thank you so much, and may God bless us all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can we try to entertain two questions? One
questions from the center. Yeah.
Onicha technical first, please. Eduardo Kereke, the coordinator, please, can you connect and let the student ask question? You can come on, you can stand where we can see the student. Please. Onicha Secondary Technical School Viewing Center. One question from one of the participants.
Or whichever is ready.
Or anyone, please.
Please, I think somebody have a question from the viewing center.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Please.
Praise God.
Hello.
Okay, Engineer, please get the question from him and then pass it.
I think that is the best thing. Just get the question
put it on a chat box.
Then you can put it on the chat box.
I think the person can have a question.
Let him talk. We are listening.
So the question on where you so that's so feel.
Yeah.
So you and my
question is one of my question is.
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
Careful. Tell us your name. Okay. Okay.
Question number. What are people that doesn't even have opportunity to go to school at all, or their talent is not in academics? How will they grow up? Or they will just be ignored?
Okay.
I don't know. Listen, I don't know whether you're able to get the question.
Yes, we got it. Thank you. Kenneth,
I can also attempt the question too.
Benison.
Okay, Benison, because of our time, we don't really have much time, please. One person should answer,
please. People who do not have the opportunity.
Ken, you are muted. Ken, you are muted.
Ken is muted.
Okay.
Then Benison can take up.
Okay. Okay. Can you listen? Can you hear me now?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. My brother, so na ndị ado enwe opportunity to school. Argue to me not very short or the cumbersome, because enwe opportunity or ije school, higher education, so ije primary, so ije secondary, so ije university. You know, it would have been nice, because I believe every Onicha person, Onicha, we make capacity, he do what they primary. We have capacity, he do what they secondary. However, now OEF has come to stay. Now adding with the capacity to stimulate those people who lack education or who do not have the opportunity, because they were formed in school. So yeah, if we identify you, go break candidate and go pass through the screening of OEF TF. Yes, this is your status. Now I need to take the responsibility. Now you pay one to inject that competitiveness and that attractiveness in you and make you to develop the zeal, EJG school, and then support you through mentorship and then finance. So, you can report to MO coordinators of this net center, say, your details, and then we can pick it up from there. So I think that's all I can
Perfect
say
answer.
now.
Question from the net center, please. The net center, do they have any question?
Okay, Edward, are you there? Because you have told me there's going to be a question.
Okay, we can actually collect the questions. They can write it down.
Yeah, and then that it's very important. The questions coming from that viewing center.
No,
this program is made for them. Yeah. So anyhow, we need to answer all their questions.
Yeah. We can give
anyway,
vote of thanks.
We have feedback forms.
Hello, please. Can we draw the program to a close so that, because important people who we told that we are going to close this meeting at 12, they tallied and waited for us up to this point. So we need to be sensitive. We can bring the meeting to a close and now stay with the children and interact with them. If there's a way self, we can even interact more with them, that would be okay. But for now, let's get our meeting to a close so that people who we invited can go if they want to. And then that's why I say at this point, let Benison give vote of thanks. We can now entertain more questions. Anybody that wants to stay back, that is absolutely fine, and we appreciate it. But for now, let's draw the meeting to a close with a vote of thanks from Benison, please.
Just joined from the US.
Hello.
Sorry.
I just have to give my unreserved apologies to very many people who would have been vital or would have given us speeches in this location, but I failed as a person to intimate them on this or give them full information on this.
Network.
Dennis,
and Chukwu and so on. So please do forgive me. We recognize you, and in subsequent meetings, you will be duly intimated. Please forgive me. I know the other people I could not call their name. Lost in Okreke, you are a very what do I say? Very important, but I forgot to intimate you. The other people in the house, Lieutenant Colonel Annie, and so on and so forth. I couldn't mention all your name, but please do forgive me. Next one, you'll be duly fine or detailed. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the destiny you can do.
Thank you so much. Go ahead, Benison.
Thank you. Amaham san ken kam otu obuna Adam nwanyị gbabatara bịa sunu niile cousins ya. So yeah, brother, yeah, as if she know, you know. Make esi onye niile mmere se program ọma na nwe isi ike. Ndi food and your food, that's our speakers. Muno bo onyumubo. Makandi amam. Bo Chukwu. I'm actually a civil engineer and an environmental engineer. Somehow, because all the speakers, apart from Professor Wilberforce Oti, then the other in one personal encounter very fundamental, remarkable personal encounter at one point or the other. And these are our best brains. So I think this has also opened another opportunity for me to reach out to Professor Oti and, you know, continue to learn and grow. Ife mana anyị na-ekenesi onye ọbụla ike, anyị na-ekene Professor Oti. Ife ofuru anyị bụ the best. O nyere anyị the breakdown of the importance of education and onye ọbụla mara ife education mbụ eje no iji such a presentation nwa mbụ. Anyị na-ekene Dr. Maxwell. Dr. Maxwell shoyiri n'ihe ban expert. The way the woro STEM, I'm an engineer, so I understand what how difficult it could be to make a presentation with STEM. Then draw the analogy to align with the atavistic tendencies of Onicha. That presentation, onye ọbụna believe should try to go through it again. I've not seen such a bespoke presentation and design. Thank you, Dr. Maxwell. And on top of that, you know, launch a new scholarship with us at 100,000 every year that for the next 10 years. So that's 1 million naira. We can all see this program now after. Professor Annie has been a very wonderful professor. I met with him sometime in Owerri, you know, before I left Nigeria for overseas. And he's such a man that anytime you come close to him, you know, he will be oozing off knowledge. Even though idi your calabash, parubo sibia, so that's in any sotanang. And then just like he said that he has been teaching all his life, so he doesn't withhold, he gives his all. And it is important that we utilize this opportunity to engage them reasonably and in such a way we can learn from their knowledge. Dr. Nyoko taught me chemical engineering designs when I was doing my postgraduate program in the UK. I would travel to her then to learn from him. And then later on, he moved into my university, the University of Sheffield, where he was a postdoctoral research fellow for over a year before he went back to his alma mater, the University of Hull, where he's now a lecturer in chemical engineering. So, directly, Dr. Nyoko, and he's someone who honorary scholarship Genzo. He has had scholarship all his life. He had scholarship in his primary school. He had scholarship at Government College Afikpo, where he was my Greek captain. The Afikpo we to Afikpo Town Welfare Association had a scholarship. Oh yeah, pieces happening, you know, Bob. And when he was in Owerri, Federal University of Technology, where I myself and many of us here went, he enjoyed scholarship as well. And later on, he won PTDF scholarship to travel to Cranfield. And yeah, so he's someone, if I'm not sure about if I'm here about the expatriate opinion, like the finest of it, you can't get something different anywhere in the world. So, and today he's dispensing knowledge in chemical engineering and in energy system engineering. So, good thing. If you see onye practical, like no kwani jeru ani si ogbo e kara o me ka mbo ya bro na cho scholarship guje nwete. And just like the boy injura ajoso onye enwekwa na opportunity. Onye enwe opportunity abuna onye papa na mama enwe ego. Onye enwe opportunity bo onye enwe information. Ndị bekee na asị information is the key. And if anyị na onwe anyị as OEF na be ime, basically, be able to know that information. I grew up a very little boy in any in a village. Growing up, I think I don't want to strong like that because sometimes So I wouldn't have opportunity, but I keyed into information. One thing you can't take away from me is that in Bob and information. And then again, today, I live in Australia. I work with the whites. I earn the same way the whites earn, and I enjoy what the whites enjoy. What made the difference is education. And this is the education we are bringing to our people. So it is important that Nwovoke must key into this project. It's not about money. It's about information, that tiny information. That tiny information. Destiny nowhere here, Bonyan teaching him how to write proposal. No, I think number 3, Rich Road, Abakaliki. FM computer, Kuzeram gave the proposal, and they proposed and the water PTDF scholarship and left the country. So you see, all of us have had one scholarship or the other. Or bad opportunity, so that our brother and us only an opportunity. Then when only opportunity. Go feel an opportunity. Come close to us. We will show you opportunities. We will help you, support you so long as you are willing, and fill you in with opportunities, and you will fly. We want in the next 20 years to build Onicha. There can be a man, and then how was this possible? That's the message we are passing across. And I'm very grateful too to Professor Ebo, for such a wonderful presentation through Dr. Ejike Dick. Dr. Ejike is someone I know personally. In fact, when Dr. Ejike UK, January 2015, I was at Manchester Airport to receive him. So he's someone I know his history. And if people like this get this far, what is holding you? The message is that no opportunities ipareka. Ife ndase bonendi neme ife adoma na ha na-eme nyara ozu. So you wouldn't have pareka. Ndị na-eme ife adoma ha kwa ahi. Na ọkọ na ha na-eme nyara ozu. Emra ndị na-eme court, ndị na-eme ekpo, ndị na-achọ onye ha na-anwa mma. Na ha dịkwa nwa ndị na Onicha. Na ha ji na-eme ozu ha ji na-eme iwere onye Onicha niile na anwa mma ma ọ nọzi na court. Gụna onwe nchọrọ ịba uru abịara eje meje tọgbọ na-agụ ekwo onye ọhụna na-amaja onye ọhụna gbara bike ya eba n'ihe enu na-etu ega ime then ịhapụ ife ndụ mkpa jeje meje ife adụ mkpa from there akara kawana na hụ so unu onye na-eme ife adụ mma unu na-etinye anya na ka onye oho nọ bụrụ nwayọọ bịa anyị na onwe anyị nte. We are here to give you, the best opportunity to access greatness. That is what OEF is. You can see how passionately young people are committing their money, committing their time to make sure that no nchadumma. Onye mmarozo baosha, onye ho even onye ngudro gudana. No ya pokuru ya chano na mosu na ka abu ezo. Oje kwa na ada puru to omengono oda bibeye. So we must do something very remarkable by EKIL into this program. Thank you, Dr. Ejike. That your story was very inspiring. And it's basically the story of every one of us. It's the story of destiny. It's the story of destiny, but mentioned. He actually won 2 scholarships. Yeah, that's the Madonna. So we are very proud of you. Dr. Ejike, the same thing, scholarships, Dr. Omabe, scholarships. So what it means is that now the possible onye nwe mmadụ ndị interested mmeri ife ọma niile ndị invited speakers anyị mfuru no ka oje ije. Our target bụ nye ije nata United Nations and people must key into that. Dr. Okorafo n'onwe is somebody ndevu mona ya bụ classmate na government college Afikpo and mgbe ọ nụrụ nwaanyị na 2013 o kwuru mmem best man so gụ kpụrụ onwe oje na ka ndị amamife nnọ o tikara ọ na-ahụ iri ji but na ọrụ dị na you must do the work and that's what we are providing you the platform. Thank you again. Thank you, my darling, Chidimma. Chidimma is an eagle, an imperial eagle that anyways. She's taking the North America for us. And only Ogbonnaya need anything in North America, Canada, US. Chidimma is an expert in that environment. So she's here. I now draw you everything closer to you. Ife abo mini amamife move amamife kanye pataru onye tie he oba kuta nwuta n'okobe nke oru. So ndị be anyị unu dịka so anyị work on education. Onye ọ masịrị mbi fe anyị na-eme dịka Dr. Ejike Mfuru can get in. Go nye anyị ego mma get ego, don't worry, just get in. And onye ndu wekwara this message na hachi. Go to your families, tell them that no defend that word, and that people can go to any length in life by dint of hard work, good network, and mentorship. Thank you, and God bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Nwovoke.
Yes.
Engineer Nwovoke is zero of our time. We thank you so much for that. Please, like I said, we are going to pray now and close formally, but we'll wait behind to interact with our younger ones from the centers, and anybody that wants to leave can now leave. So please go ahead and pray for us, Engineer Chigozie Uneke. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
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 Yes. Mbu Chigozie Uneke.
Onye umre closing remark. Onye mantene for and of course you.
They heard about this program through me, but so so yeah, Bruno, any further information, you can also reach me as well. So Sanyikwe. Ogbonnaya Jesus.
Amen.
Chineke, anyị na-ekene n'ihi na edumma.
Amen.
Ekene ike. Onye mere ụbọchị nta dị. Anyị na-ekene Chineke maka ndụ na ahụ ịdị ụtọ. Anyị na-ekene maka oke amamihe nke inyewere anyị. Na-ekenekwa na akụnụba Chineke. Anyị ka ha rịọ nta Chineke maka ife niile akụziri anyị nta. Chineke sọ mụta mkpụrụ n'ime anyị n'efa Jizọs. Ndị aka be ọ na-ekwo iji ime ha bee. Ndị nke mbe ụkanọ na be Chineke ha eje na-agụ na-aghọta. Ndị nchọrọ ije oversee ije ego ekwo, ndị nchọrọ scholarship Chineke iji ime ọdụ ha efe. Ndị nchekwana n'ime business like me, not trading but doing business. Chineke ọdụ n'eka ka ma amamife ha nidiri iji ime meso ọdụrụ ha. Anyị na-ekene Chineke n'ihi na mma na-ezawo dịka ihiri aza anyị na mbụ. Papa rie otuto n'efa Jizọs Kraịst mbụ onye nwe anyị nke anyị kwere. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Anyị na-asụkwa amen n'ọkwa n'anyị. Anyị na-ekpere onwe anyị o. Anyị na-asụkwa amen. Okay. Okay.
Who said they can unmute themselves? Let them unmute and ask their question.
Okay. So we have
yeah. Go ahead.
A lot of people already left the conference. So eventually, I don't know if those people not a viewing center now. Hello? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Ima, Chukwu, and then Onicha, and then get a school in Onicha Secondary Technical School, and for the fact that them who gave me a kind of let me go expose some of the and one thing may identify that this issue of let somebody get after writing why when you whole word is one word very away. Zua machine who want him. No, one of the things a kind of not confused a lot of young people, and they will begin to feel like, oh, why should I even be here? Then before you know it, I know that that's someone not confiding me. Then the worst mistake here made in Wire, but I can't know school. Somebody in a particular promise in a one. No bad, but yeah, the guy will they don't wear when we are part of that part. So no, I can't wait to end their career yet. Okay, plan young with happening in a menu school and a genuine not good cycle. And the guy regretted it. It was a kind of regret because he said it to my hearing. Now that the worst mistake because of somebody else. So remember that particular they have managed to this guy in the neighborhood up in front of us. So what I'm trying to say is that this team boy kind of the negative impact of peer pressure, even though it's not so like as a problem, but it's a real problem, and they need to making sure like if I'm namely now that they focus and understand whatever thing that whatever advice that is dished out here and follow it. And don't even a manner, maybe you are maybe your mate are doing. But let's keep doing that doing the right thing. So that's my first man that I will chip in.
Okay, that was a good advice from Dr. H.K. Chukwu. Because technical, okay, can you connect us to any question from technical? We've had one from Egon. Please, we are waiting for you. I just chatted you. Please, we want to interact with them there. Very important.
I think they can type it on the chat box. If not,
we would want them to see where you said what. Let me call it what. Is he listening?
And again, Edward can answer some questions. Let it be the ones he can answer that we can entertain. Chukwu can also answer questions. So, is there any other person that wants to make any comments? Because we want to draw the meeting to a close.
Yes, so yes, I want to make
Chigozie, go ahead.
So I want to tell something. Just basically on that question. I think those in the viewing centers can record, even though they will give them answers, but they can record it for the general interest. So that we don't remain connected forever. They can collect the questions, record it, then play it for us.
And then if they can get their numbers, details, so that we can integrate them into OEF general platform, like WhatsApp or Telegram, it would be nice.
And another thing, if we don't end at the view center, because we need a kind of one person, any of them, any of the on a view center, anybody that one person for them to contact.
Yes.
One
Which is
person,
automatically
the number of the one person to them, they can contact the person when they have any question or any concern or anything.
Yeah, I think it's been technically handled because each of the Chukwu and Edward coordinating the two centers are the focal persons, in my view. So
Elder John Ogo Nwachukwu, and you may recognize your presence, sir.
Yes, very, very much. Hello.
You're welcome, sir.
I want to say something.
Okay,
go ahead, sir.
Yeah. And then can actually goes you and tell you to repeat you for people. Atmatumbo, ebe atutuni muna nenche. Same way there is a nenche schools. Several type of counseling to the students. Nta se week igoto no. Ni na tuti pele me like man bonyembo. Then no match one bro principal for 20 years. Muna ha geko mmari pe bu sogbu na otutu ha bu na enwe revision. And then me onye to exam. I don't know me expo go no me nke. Yeda oche no wabu. Every weekend in the on a Bonny State to interact with them directly in the schools. Nka se hamra na obuma if you action e casino ego no by COVID. Na we here e before na actually able. No, obuhe their mindset to be major problem. Even I can have weekend na pundi we have my mind e go say anything na what akwe no na ego. Nina mmeresa ọtụtụ ndị mmadụ mara n'ezi na ịgụ izu mmadụ n'ụlọ akwụkwọ na akwụkwọ ya n'olorikwa ego mana ọ baghị ife nka ha mfe onye nwe ego nwere ike imere nwata ihe n'ihi na ife nwere ike na-eme nwansị nke malite ewe ego mpara aka n'ihi na bonde ife ndị anya ịba ndị bido school na 70s ejiri ma na pre-secondary education not from 70s nke ndị be anyị maara na ife nwere ike ime ndị mbido n'oge na-asụ na-ekege ndị mmadụ ụzọ n'oge na aka gị asụ ndị mmadụ okike na-eri oke nkụ nke ha mụrụ ọmịfe mmụọ onye ọbụla mmụ ike ime na ya bụrụ onwe mkpebu egere mmadụ onwe ha na-azụ ghọta na onwe ha nekwa ọnọdụ ezinụlọ their foundation their family background and they want to better it. That's the problem. So if you can give them that orientation from ndị na-agụ at least ndị na-agụ JS3 to SS3 and Onicha, the next 5 years from this project, Onicha subdite. Amen. How many opportunities? More than 200 because make it no so so you have we can that orientation from secondary school. No ndị nọ n'unu we can take it up from this point. Na mana ndị ọtụtụ n'ime unu anọ na Nigeria. But ya bụrụ ndị nọ na Nigeria ha nye aka saa baa n'ime ha. Gana eme unu na-ebife. N'ihi na ife na-atụ anya personally na ndị onchete ya ruo oge n'ihi na mgbe nọ n'ọkpọsị na-enwe grupu pụtara n'ọkpọsị na-eje from school to school na-eme nye scholarship. Eke ya kwọ eme ọtụtụ ife to enhance, to facilitate, to encourage some of these students. I'm not the military. No, the great guru. Anya amara nezi the next 5 to 10 years. Non chage eduga. Abulo dem na security by any day called Reka. Because onion do better educated, we know they had master security consciousness. Because now I'm use. And now on the level of our intellectual development, they must and use giant. If we have a good intellectual development, so you're a politician, so anybody to use us or to watch it, in the hand of the devil. because those attitudes will definitely approach. So I'm sorry if to take you too long.
No,
but if I need a dependent,
we are
thank you very much.
So much.
Daddy, can I thank you? Because now all capture if anyị nwe under mentoring program.
Okay.
Anyị chọrọ let me give you an example. Anyị chọrọ say undergraduate students ge kuzigi egi nwe arrangement otu undergraduate students ngige na akuzi na volunteer na mentor ndị nọ na secondary school and primary school. Hey, jizara ho build a case study ọmachidi mma na efuru nigi present ni contribute to community. No be nke ngi present OEF has support with references.
Okay.
So, by so doing, a man ending on a university, na free tutorial. Of course, our education foundation will be paying them, some of them, okay, to go to school and teach. So that mentoring program will continue. Go for that. You know, you need mentor below you. It will be a kind of a continuous chain. So even if not all, very, very, very critical. And again, I want you to know that once in a while, elderly people like you, so we need the wisdom of elders. And I want to assure you that what you have said, once school resume, we're going to have a package to start with so that we can start engaging them at that level.
Thank you very much. In fact, now personally I'm disposed. If by the education Onicha.
Very good, sir.
He may contribute my quota at any level week. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And when the race Baraka, Peter Chukwu, can you speak after Peter Chukwu?
Lawrence Okereke. Yeah. Okay.
Peter Chukwu, can you go ahead, please?
I'm making a maddening and very sorry, and joining it late. Unfortunately, due to the time difference, we name with the program now many time by 8 a.m. So TN and my calendar. But by the time I'm not joining now, you know, can meet you. Do as much involved as possible. So the program, you can help guide me. I think I have been privileged in certain ways by the grace of God. You know, I want to really participate in this. And to piggyback on what Elder just said, Manengbanyan Government College, Nwovoke can be a witness, and Chukwuma as well. When we as moral instruction, and most of the time, during my time on a Thursday morning, they get community members who will come to the school. Sorry, Nadia's in a big here. Didn't get baby school, baby call about sort of in the matter being guidance and the mean the real world. You know, going forward, reform and thing with the consider in a school. So because only somebody earlier about the matter for high one shiny things like a bamoti with certain clothes. But when you those things again, I sway the person away from or direction on your born toward again. So just to sum it all, thank you. Very, very involved. So and I'm open for thank you.
Well appreciated.
God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Chukwu. Thank you, Dr.
Chukwu. We are going to add your get your details and add you to OEF platform and WhatsApp and all the platforms so that to carry you along, and then you become a member, and then you make your contributions morally as much as you can. and then we pick it up from there.
Dr. Chukwu, I can give endorsement any day, anytime.
We
don't need endorsement. We don't need endorsement for people
So thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Lawrence,
personally get your details, Dr. Peter, so that you get involved in the platform and then we
yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Jamesh.
Good afternoon, sir.
So they come Kenneth Unike, man. Oh, na on over the area. Yeah, that mama on one and name. I mean, that John on one. So, yeah, but I hope the methodic again when I not paying them neka. So, and the fruitful dinner to dinner, not to bouquet. Where you place your mind, that is where you are. So, if you put a some trouble, Nive Atundogam Pere Mom Nagbang since in the 80s or precisely 1990. So I kept on with that. Now I speak about it. Chineke me ntad no na huma ile. So I know budo moton here. So even jine pe abun walk pe nem no na ka bu Benison Nwovoke jibe witness. So yes, what I'm saying is that at 1990, I did a technical. Ekwa from Botaso say ndi pu obuna fotaha sa ni students afotaha ni punipu after ya buru Nwoboko ha nwan say so nna akwa yes nna akwa from technical na Nwoboko because na emeri pendro okwu Nwoboko na-eje school men mba o menunu anyi ife adukọtabo 11 persons no kwa ndị na-eje na technical me people me ndị na-eje na mba. If I got 11, so
so na
so ndị mmadụ na-ajụ m what is my problem? So what was my problem? They would say me send you ebe ọbụla nọ m na ekwu na ka mbụ njere school na Onicha bụ Nwoboko. Onye mbụ na onye ebe o jere school na Onicha bụ Nwoboko, which is Obasi aba na Okurafọ Nwomoke. So abịa na ihe ke Nwoboko bụ ikpeazụ. So from that day, I started talking to people. JS1, you know, so I started talking to people. So people, so JS, need our president, I maybe student union. So I need maybe name. Which this I need maybe by then. Even the prayer name so mentorship. Even villages na Karandi Madru or Barabi school. So I need that. Couple one we pay not no banye biake onye nke Nwoboko anwụ ọdaji ije na anwụ ọfụ onye nke ukwu ọgaji ije na ife ọzọ n'ike which mu onwe in particular jere ma Nwovoke I talk to her in person, you know. So anyị jide otu nwa na akara okay no ije school bụ m ndị niile mfu ụzọ je school bụ m ije ha abịa na ara nwaanyị ha je na awa na technical abịa na ara nwaanyị n'unu. So for that not some ife ndị na-eje college na-eme after ndị njere Lagos je gbago soro ha para na ewa.
Sorry, anyị na-record ife anyị na-record ife enwe ofu ije try na efu dike ewesi iwe.
Ngwanụ para ha ọgọ m na ọgọ ha m na ha oge na-ekwu. So
okay. Uncle,
brother.
Don't
worry, summarize there. We're not para cannot bubuta no no.
Because our house of we are not a teacher of high repute.
So yeah, be there name to but from that 1990, no even again 1998, we move on 100 and then only technical. Only between that 1990, just space of 8 years, I need more than 100 persons to mentor the number. So now by United I do a full world school 3 times from Kemeje for quality. Now do to be another 18 years in get Banaga way by Banaga secondary school. You know, so I was there in Port Harcourt. There was an opportunity with River State government. At a point, I started working with Nigerian police and all that. So I had an opportunity because of a friend in Wure. Since then, I village police. If I police, yes, some Mutamadi say Tierman police. Yeah, you know, one major one of the secondary. Yes, some kids are going to go down with your position that 20 years. So, yes, okay, move 5 children police. Not back from state command. Then I began for tackle. There's only me to bandin pa a fresh and age. Okay, the name Maroni, ya pass for mathematics, ya pass for English, ya go for takwa. Ye menan. Meruya bro, onion a bon girl. Came there at Chofota. As no DYA. India meet. Were go just bar form. I'm Diego Bob bar form 25,000 because 5,000 naira. Say bad the form. So shorter the one girl. Mbo nyungu. Even half now somebody na no do me na say